טיל היה מעל הראש שלנו לפני רגע, אתה יודע מה עברנו?
From Tehran to the Gulf, Iran has launched Wave 64 of Operation True Promise 4, marking a sharp escalation in the conflict. The operation targeted oil facilities linked to the United States across the region and was carried out under the code O Sahib al-Zaman. Iran says the strikes followed what it calls a deceptive enemy attack earlier in the day on its own energy infrastructure.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Wave 63 of Operation True Promise 4, targeting oil facilities linked to the United States in the region, was carried out with full force under the code O Sahib al-Zaman. May Allah hasten his reappearance.
Tehran claims the earlier strike on its energy sites was aimed at pressuring the Iranian population, which has been protesting in the streets for over 16 days against recent aggression. Iran maintains it did not intend to expand the war to oil and energy targets or harm the economies of friendly and neighboring countries. However, officials say the attack has pushed the conflict into a new and more intense phase, forcing a shift in strategy.
The Islamic Republic of Iran did not intend to expand the scope of the war to oil facilities and did not wish to harm the economies of friendly and neighboring countries. But with the enemy's aggression against energy infrastructure, the conflict has entered a new and intense phase, and we were forced to strike energy facilities linked to the United States and its shareholders.
According to Iranian claims, armed forces immediately launched retaliatory operations after the initial strikes, targeting multiple oil installations tied to U.S. interests across the region. These facilities were reportedly set ablaze in what Tehran describes as a heavy reciprocal operation designed to match the scale of damage inflicted on Iran. Officials have issued a direct and escalating warning, saying the response is ongoing and far from complete.
We once again warn the enemy that it has made a grave mistake by attacking the energy infrastructure of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The response is underway and is not yet over. And if this aggression is repeated, attacks on your and your allies' energy infrastructure will continue and will not stop until their complete destruction. And our response will be far more severe than tonight's attacks.
The escalation extended beyond energy targets to major U.S. military installations in the region. Iran claims it struck Dhafra Air Base, Udeid Air Base, and the headquarters of the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain's Mina Salman, in what it describes as a combined missile and drone assault. Command centers, hardened shelters, fuel depots, equipment hangars, early warning radar systems, and key runway infrastructure were all targeted in a coordinated strike.
In this combined missile and drone operation, command centers, hardened shelters, fuel tanks, and equipment hangars at Dhafra were precisely targeted. Early warning radars and the central runway of Udeid Base were struck with ballistic missiles, and hardened facilities and radar systems at American bases, and the headquarters of the Fifth Fleet were heavily hit by drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles.
In parallel, Iran says its aerospace forces targeted Israeli military deployment centers in the southern occupied territories using a multi-warhead missile, claiming distinct impact results. Back in Iran, air defense systems reportedly intercepted and destroyed enemy drones over Tehran, with officials stating that most incoming UAVs have been neutralized before completing their missions. The message from Tehran remains firm. Operations are ongoing and escalation remains on the table. 80 US-Israeli targets have been hit in what Iran is calling one of its largest coordinated attacks yet. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says this was part of the 63rd wave of Operation Promise of Truth 4, marking a sharp escalation in an already volatile conflict. The strikes were not isolated or symbolic. They were simultaneous, widespread, and designed to send a clear message that this confrontation is entering a far more dangerous phase. According to the IRGC, a total of 80 military and military support locations were targeted across Israel, stretching from the densely populated Tel Aviv region to central and southern zones. Areas including Ramat Gan, Bnei Brak, Bat Yam, Holon, Ramla, and Rishon LeZion were named among the targets, while Eilat in the south was also struck. This wide geographic spread suggests a deliberate attempt to hit multiple strategic nodes at once and stretch Israeli defenses across the entire country. At the same time, northern Israel came under heavy and sustained pressure. Cities like Haifa, Nahariya, and parts of the Galilee region were struck in quick succession, while Hezbollah launched its own missile attack on Israeli troop positions in the border town of Hula. The coordination between Iran and Hezbollah indicates a synchronized multi-front assault, combining long-range strikes with frontline pressure along Israel's northern border. Iran claims the attacks involved precision-guided missiles, systems capable of carrying multiple warheads, and destructive drones, all deployed in a concentrated barrage. Within just 1 hour, 3 separate missile attacks were carried out, contributing to a total of 6 strike waves reported since the morning. The scale and timing point to a saturation strategy aimed at overwhelming Israel's air defense systems and maximizing impact across both military and urban zones.
We have air defense systems, and I can already say they are among the best in the world. This is proven. Unfortunately, the defense is not airtight. We use our systems to intercept these missiles. These cluster missiles are a war crime if this terrorist regime targets them at population centers. There is no difference from a regular missile except for its dispersion. I will say once again that adhering to the Home Front Command's instructions and the public's resilience is the best solution to this issue.
But the escalation did not stop at Israel's borders. In a significant expansion of the conflict, Iran has claimed it targeted oil and energy facilities linked to the United States in the region, setting several of them on fire. Tehran says this was a direct response to attacks on its own energy infrastructure and has framed it as a forced shift into a new phase of warfare, one that now includes economic and energy targets. The messaging from Iran leaves little room for ambiguity. Warning the United States and Israel, it has vowed that its response will continue and could intensify further if hostilities persist. With missile strikes across Israeli cities, Hezbollah opening a northern front, and US-linked energy infrastructure now in the crosshairs, the conflict is no longer contained. What is unfolding is a rapidly expanding regional crisis with the potential to spiral into a much larger war.